I spoke about how I am wanting to take myself out on more dates, and also how, I want to push myself out of my comfort zone. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I used to do self-dates quite a lot. Now, a lot of my self-dates are around, obviously, me spending time with myself. But I am on the mission in the market to meet some new people. Now, this isn't to say that the people that I have in my life aren't amazing, because they are. My friends watching this. But I really want to push myself out my comfort zone and start meeting new people, because meeting new people is something that brings me absolute joy, as I literally said in my last video, but also terrifies me to my very core. That's really annoying that I've just moved that. We want to get over that barrier, and I just want to become more of a confident person, I guess, in those types of social situations, because I'm not really. So the only way I know of overcoming that barrier is by literally ripping the plaster off. I forgot to put primer on. With that being said, today I am taking myself to a pottery evening. I'm hoping to meet a lot of like-minded people this evening, and if I don't, but I'm still putting myself out there, which is always nice. Now, yeah, so it's a pottery, like an air dry clay evening. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've had a bit of a dilemma, because they emailed me today at like 1 being like, oh sorry, we've had to cancel it because the pub have like changed their requirements of space. And I get back from the charity shop and they're like, oh, by the way, like it's back on. And I was like, okay. So that's also teaching me to be spontaneous, because normally my brain is like, if I have one plan, I can't have another unless it's like pre-arranged. Like a spontaneous plan is a no from me. For my makeup, by the way, I'm just gonna do like the most relaxed, casual, you know, like one of those makeups where you've actually put fucking loads of makeup on but it doesn't really look like you have. How men think we just wake up. There's just so many amazing people out there that if we don't allow ourselves to meet them, we'll never bloody know they exist. It's like that old phrase that I always love, but it's like, if you never know, wait, let me not butcher it. There's so many people you don't even know who are gonna love you. Something like that. I got into a really good habit of doing these self-dates back in the day, and then over time I just kind of slowly fell out of the habit of doing that. And I literally noticed that the more independence I took away from myself and the less self-dates I went on, the more like dependent I became on other people. Like when I've been going on dates with other people, like I feel more dependent on them. And I speak about this type of thing all the time, and my friend Sophie and I were talking about this in something exciting that is coming up soon, because Sophie's actually in a relationship, and we were talking about the importance of taking yourself out on a self-date regardless of whether or not you were in a relationship. Like, self-dates don't just have to be for those of us who are single, it's for people who are in relationships, because if you give yourself energy and time by yourself, then you're going to be able to give more energy to that person as well, because you're like nourishing yourself as well as them. For me, I find it very hard when I'm in a relationship to like look after myself and date myself, or if I'm dating someone, I'm very not, I don't know, I'm a very codependent person, I think, which I don't love about myself. Which is funny, because whenever I'm single, I feel like I'm very independent, but I want to maintain that independence when I'm like seeing people and like going on dates and stuff. So that's what we're doing today. It's really important to just allow some time for yourself. I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and like go to events by themselves, because I'm actually quite terrified, but we're gonna keep that on the DL for a while. We're just gonna ride out. Yeah, like, but you can just like go for a coffee, or like do some of the things that I started doing when I first started going on these self-dates. Like, I've been doing this for, I guess 2021 was when I first started doing them. Yeah, wow, it's crazy. And like, I'm just finally getting to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take myself out and go meet new people by myself. Like, so I'm not saying that you need to do that, but I do think it's a nice place to aim to be. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay. Slay. I found some like sheer looking tights, so it kind of low-key looks like I'm not wearing any bottoms, but I am YouTube, I promise I am. There's also this crazy like ladder here, but anyway. Now basically, I'm planning my entire outfit around this gorgeous burgundy jacket I bought today when I went to the charity shops that I was talking about, because I'm going to an event, a green carpet, red carpet event tomorrow. The theme was pre-loved elegance, and look at this gorgeous, gorgeous red dress I bought. It's like bodycon vibes. Anyway, so I tidied my room last week, and I finally have like organized all my clothes, and so pretty much these are all of my skirts And then these are my trousers, and then my jeans are in. Another thing, yeah, I know there's a lot. I get my jacket and like match it, because I could go white. This could be kind of a cute, perfect match. Kind of love her as like a vibe. I'm gonna put my like little loafer type shoe on. It looks so cute. I look so cute. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm almost there. Freaking scared now. Like I feel a little bit like, I feel scared. Okay, right, I'm sat literally on the floor on London nearby waiting outside the pub because I'm a little bit early, to be fair. But like if I'm even with my friends, I will always meet them outside because I get so anxious walking into a new place. Like if I don't know where I'm going, let alone I have no idea where I'm going, what anyone looks like what the general protocol is. Like I'm so nervous. I'm scared. But we're gonna just do it and we're gonna have a nice time, and worst comes to worst, we can just leave. Okay, I literally can't stress how important it is to push through that horrible feeling. Like as you just saw me before I went in, I like could feel my heart like in my mouth almost. Like I literally felt like I was gonna cry and throw up. Just the simple thought of me walking into a pub, which just sounds so silly, but like that's just the reality of the anxiety that I live with. And I can't stress how bloody important it is that you just push through that feeling, no matter how horrible or painful or hard it can feel in those moments. Like it is so worth it. And literally like as soon as I walked in, did the simple task of just asking the bar staff where the event was being held, like, oh, am I in the right place kind of thing, and they're like, oh yeah, like it's upstairs. Went upstairs, introduced myself to the teacher, just said hello, obviously went down and grabbed the wine, which did make me feel a little bit at ease, I'll be honest, and introduced myself, and honestly it was so freaking fine. The reason that I made the alien is because we were doing sort of a few little tasks at the very beginning where you were like moulding the clay, but you weren't actually allowed to look at the clay. So the alien actually looks like an Among Us character, but it was meant to be an alien. And then there was lots of different designs that she had put on the table as like inspiration, but I did not look at Pinterest before I came to this event, which was silly because I should have done that. I should have got my creativity like spurring. But in the end, I decided to do a woman's body vase. I mean, you can't actually put water or food in any of these, so it's kind of a fake vase. But yeah, I did a woman's body. It was really fun. The whole experience event was about 2 hours. I overstayed my welcome slightly a bit longer, as did a lot of people, because we were all kind of like putting the finishing touches. And then I was very proud of myself with my product, and then I'm gonna go home and finish it tomorrow. Right, well, it's obviously not the same bloody day. It's the day after and it's the morning. I need to have my breakfast. No, I'm actually obsessed with it today. So I thought we could continue today. I have some croissants here, so we're gonna have a coffee, croissants, and finish our clay moulding this morning. Obviously I didn't get to like chat very much yesterday while I was at the event. By the way, these are just roll croissants. Incredible. Yeah, so I thought we could do a little debrief, a little self-date. You know, like when you come home from a date and your like friends are like outside your bedroom, like, what happened? That's what I feel like this is for. It was actually really fun, as predicted. I would really recommend it. Like, obviously, just before I went in, I was literally, the reality of dating yourself, I don't know, I feel like the narrative of self-dates online can be very, look how easy this is, or, you know, dating myself to get more confidence and like all the positive effects of dating yourself, which obviously I feed into. But a lot of the conversations lacks that, like, it actually can be really hard to put yourself in these types of situations. This is coming from someone who has had to work really hard to get to this point, and I still struggle like with that very initial going into like events like this, or the initial conversations I'm having with people, or like even just like my brain kind of really overthinks what I'm saying. Like if I was to go on an actual date, for example, like I said this before, but like on my like first few dates that I went on after my previous relationship ended, it was like, well, to be honest, it was like 2 years after the relationship ended. And also like I had a literal panic attack before I went on this date, albeit it was a daytime date, which for me personally is just not something I tend to really enjoy. And I had like my best friend Emma, she literally was like walking me through each step. She was like, right, just put the makeup on, you're fine. I was literally like putting this makeup on with like tears streaming down my face. The poor person that I was meeting for the date was like voice noting me like, don't worry, like it'll be fine. And basically like walking me through my anxiety of meeting a new person, and it was fine. Like it was fine, albeit there was only one date, but like it's, you know, it was fine. You know, I got through it and I was really proud of myself for going. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of myself for going and for walking through the front door, and it was really enjoyable. There were 7 of us there, me and one other person who hadn't come in a group, and then there was like a duo and then another group of 3 who would also come as a group, and then there was the teacher, obviously. So there was a couple of groups there and a couple of people by themselves, which was nice, but at the very beginning I was like, oh no, like there's so many people that have come in pairs or groups or whatever, and it was a bit intimidating. But then once we like started to do the activities and like do the warm-ups and stuff, it was just really easy and nice to just like talk to everyone and joke with everyone, and like everyone was like really like engaging in conversations, and like I was talking to the people that were in groups that had gone, and it didn't feel like I was like this additional person, you know, that was like awkwardly hanging on to some friendship group. But also at the same time there was like literally no pressure to not do anything you don't want to, but talk if you didn't want to. Like there was no pressure to do anything. Like I think that was also what was good about it. If you go to like some form of like creative event, because for a few parts there was like kind of silence, because obviously people were like kind of focusing on what the hell they were doing, but it wasn't like awkward or anything, which was something I was personally a bit worried about. I was talking to some artists, and there was a group who had just been to a neuroscience exam that day, and it was just like, bloody hell, like there's just so many people who are like living in this fucking world that you just don't come in contact with unless you like put yourself out in situations to meet people. Oh fuck, that was way too deep. Oh no. The back is giving. I'm not sure how I feel about how I made this. Like, she's curvy, that's for sure. I literally am so obsessed with her. She is kind of slaying. Now that I've mastered, well, I haven't mastered it yet. I'm gonna potentially keep it potentially covered for a bit, just so that should I want to go back to her and just like finalize her, then I can. But I think she's much better than when I initially started her. But now that I've done this type of style, I feel like I could make like a few different similar vases with maybe like different shapes and sizes, different people. I kind of want to give her a nipple piercing, but like that I have to try and do the nipples, and I can't quite work out how to do that. So at the moment she's just chilling like this. But yeah, I'm feeling quite accomplished. Now I have to get on with the rest of my day, but thank you so much for joining me on my little self date. Okay, thank you. Love you so much. Bye.